Support for Up First Winter Games comes from NPR sponsor Allianz Travel Insurance. Get ready to give ordinary the cold shoulder with protection for adventures that give you the best kind of chills. Learn more at allianztravelinsurance.com.
U.S. snowboard racer Nick Baumgartner lost in the semifinals of the snowboard cross last week by 8/100ths of a second, but you wouldn't know it from the huge smile on his face. The 44-year-old told NBC, quote, "I never had so much fun losing in my life." Baumgartner is a 5-time Olympian. He won gold 4 years ago in the mixed snowboard cross, and that made him the oldest Olympic snowboard medalist in history. And he says he's not done yet. Nick Baumgartner, thanks for joining us. Am I wrong? I mean, correct me if I am, Nick, but you seem to be having the time of your life in Italy.
Absolutely. I'm having so much fun. And I think that comes with, one, we got the medal last time, so the only pressure was making the team. Once I got here, the pressure kind of went away. And no one expects a 44-year-old to win or, let's say, even be that competitive. So I was just here to have fun. And when you're having fun, I think it changes your riding and it gets rid of all that pressure that all the kids are going through. And I was able to just have a good time, and that made me dangerous. And I started advancing through the rounds.
What's the biggest difference riding at 44, in your riding at 44?
I'm smarter about everything that I do. I'm only taking calculated risks. My racecraft is better than anyone there because I've had so many miles on my snowboard, and I'm set up for doing the racecraft. And here the track was slower, so that played into my cards.
And do any of the younger snowboarders look to you as like this elder with all this information? Do they pick your brain at all, or do you in competition say no? Right now I gotta compete.
No, I'm pretty good with it. And I tell, especially my teammates, I said, you guys, I don't care if I'm getting in the gate in like 2 seconds to go do one of the most important runs of my life. If you have a question, ask me, because it's not going to affect me. It's not going to change anything. I've done this enough. And that's what I'm here. I think that's what's so amazing about having a guy like me on this team is I've been through it all, and I can mentor these kids. And I've had the lows, I've had the highs, I've had everything. And I can use that to help them get through this. Because at the end of the day, we all want to get to ourselves to a position that we can all be good. And if I help them, that pushes them. And then it pushes me because I don't want to look old. So if they beat me, I'm going back to work and I'm coming back stronger so that I beat them. And then it's this cycle to raise everyone to this level where we all have a chance to win.
Do you feel old at all? I mean, I guess the answer is no, but I mean, do you feel it ever?
I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't. Everyone always says age is just a number, and I say it all the time. But age is also a sore back. It's bad hands. It's all these things. But the one thing that I've learned is as long as you keep moving, motion is lotion. Yeah. As long as I don't stop, I'm totally fine. And then once I get into the gate, I don't care how much pain there is. Adrenaline is one of the most amazing things on this planet. And I think when the younger kids, they'll have an ache and a pain, and they let that bother them. I know when I get in the gate, it's all gone. So there's no worrying about it and there's no stress.
How much more of a smarter snowboarder are you now than you maybe 15 years ago?
A lot more, just because I figured out exactly at which mentality I need to be at to be able to do my best. When I was younger, I was always like, I gotta win. And I'm in the gate and I'm doing this. And I'm all jacked up. And then I go through I start the race and then I start making mistakes. Now I know, you'll see all the kids are doing that. They're all focused. And then you see me running around, joking, cracking jokes, because I know that if I have a smile on my face, I'm riding way better than I would if I'm so worried about winning. So I've learned where to get my mind to be able to give myself the best chance to be successful.
You know, we've heard a lot of the younger athletes at the Olympics talk about the pressure and the mental stress and just trying to, keep their mind stable with all the pressure that comes with the Olympics. But I think with your approach, what do you think the lesson is for any athlete, but specifically for the younger ones that are dealing with all this stress?
The only way to get rid of that stress and that pressure or keep those nerves at bay is to outwork everybody in the off season. If you've done every single thing that you can do leading into the games, it's the only way. Because once you start doubting yourself, oh man, well, I skipped that workout. Oh, I didn't go to that training camp. I didn't do this. Your mind starts to play tricks on you. If you did everything that you could and you are so prepared, there's nothing else you can do. And then if you go there and you don't get the result that you want, you can live with that. But it's when you skip workouts, when you don't do everything that you can and then you fall short of that goal, that's the regret that you're going to carry around for the rest of your life. And I think that's where that pressure and that stress comes from. So anytime, preparation is the answer to everything.
Do you think younger athletes at the Olympics don't have as much fun as they could have?
Oh, I mean, I talked to a lot of them, and some of them say that was not fun at all, unless it goes well, right?
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
I look at it as a way, but you do that preparation so that you can go and have fun. Because there's nothing worse than not having fun and then doing bad. So you didn't have fun the whole time. At least I'm having fun the whole time. And then if it doesn't go well, at least I had a great time and I got to hang out with my friends. I got to compete and represent my country. I got to have all this super great time. And just that one part wasn't that great. But some of these kids, you see that it's just the Olympics is a different animal and it can really break you down. And it's a shame because sport is supposed to be fun. I mean, obviously we're competitors and we want to win. And if it doesn't go your way, you're left wanting more. But you got to be able to have fun because, again, when you're having fun, you're able to do much better. When that stress hits you, it'll cripple you.
You talk about your age a lot. So why is it important for you to kind of put that out there?
It's funny because a lot of people, when I get talked about, they don't say my name without saying 44 years old or the old
I know
guy.
I did it. I know I did that
And
too.
everyone always is like, oh, I'm sorry. Does that offend you? I was like, no, it's part of the story. Father Time is undefeated, man. It's coming for every single one of us. I'm pushing it off as long as I can. But it just goes to show if a guy at 44 can be competitive in a sport like snowboarding, it just goes to talk about his preparation, how much work I'm doing, my work ethic, everything that I'm putting into this. I'm leaving everything out there every single day. My routine in the off season is unbelievable, the amount of things that I'm doing, but I love it. And I think if you find something that you love to do, you're happy to put that work in, you're happy to do that. So I think it's important to find something that you love because they say if you find something you love, you won't work a day in your life. That's crap. That's not true. If you find something you love, you will find a way to outwork everyone and do more than anyone else because you want to win.
So speaking of Father Time, Nick, because I've heard you mention that you want to compete in Salt Lake City in 2034, where you'd be 52 years old. So as a member of the half a century club that I am, I want to know, like, what do you have to change in your training, in your nutrition, in everything to get there at 52 and compete?
Yeah, crazy, right? Everyone tells me I'm nuts, but everyone that tells me I'm nuts is giving me free motivation. And what would I have to change? I think everything that I'm doing now is working. And as technology gets better, my training, I started training with this gym called Advantage in Marquette, Michigan, and it's way more efficient. When I was younger, I would be there again, still trying to outwork everyone,
Yeah.
but I was just doing all these different things, and it wasn't necessarily transferring from the gym to my sport. Now we know exactly what's going to get me more explosive. We know where my weaknesses are. We're measuring everything. Every time I do a squat, it's reading how fast I'm pushing that bar. It's telling us so much information that we know what we can do and what to hone to make it transfer to my sport. I'm not just going to go and do some Olympic lifts just to do them because it's not about just having that raw strength and power. It's having that raw strength and power that can transfer to my sport. So doing that and then recovery. Recovery is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like I have no problem putting in the work, but at some point my body's going to struggle to recover fast enough that I can continue to do the work I need to do to stay relevant in this sport. So I'm doing saunas. I just picked up an electric muscle stimulation suit from X Body. I flew to Europe to get this thing because I did some research and I learned enough about it that I knew that if I didn't do it, I would regret it the rest of my life if I didn't come here and do well. So I have this suit on that'll shock me as I'm working out. And for an aging athlete, you understand the one thing we lose is them fast twitch muscles, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if they die or they go into a coma or whatnot. Well, now I'm shocking them and I'm setting the settings on this thing, the depth and the hertz to target those muscles. So where it would be hard for me to fire those fast twitch muscles is immediately when that thing turns on, it fires all those fast twitch
Oh,
muscles.
wow. Wow.
So then it's teaching it to be more efficient and more powerful and explosive, which is exactly what I need. And I don't know how much it's doing, but with the research I did, I believe that it's doing well. So again, that goes back to the placebo. If I believe it, it's true,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it is helping, but also I believe that it's helping so much that it's helping even more.
Tell us about meeting Snoop and Martha Stewart because that went viral a few days ago.
Well, let me just tell you, middle school me. And so I'm here with a bunch of kids, right? And they're all like, Snoop Dogg, it's so crazy. I'm like, you guys, I grew up listening to this guy. It's a little bit different for me. Yeah, you know him as this superstar. I know him as just like growing up. That's the music we listened to. We were in the weight room, jamming Snoop Dogg, all these other rappers, and like to have the chance to meet him. Middle school me is going nuts. And then to be sitting next to him and Martha Stewart, my mom is freaking out. Like, how did you meet Martha Stewart? Yeah, I mean, she gave me a little dig at the beginning. I don't know about that Nick Baumgartner, and you need to get rid of that hat. And
You're
she was
wearing a
trying to
fedora,
sell.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, well, I was trying. I mean, I wear a hat because as we get old, my hair's falling out, and I don't. I'm trying to keep my secret here,
yeah.
and she's trying to sell me out. But to be there, they're both amazing people. To have the fame that they have, and to have someone like Snoop Dogg, like in my corner, going, you know what? I want to help you capitalize on what you're doing. Someone that's got so much fame that's not afraid to help someone else, man, that's inspiring. And I think, and that's what I'm trying to do. My social media blew up, right? Well, I have a bunch of young teammates that struggle to get sponsors because they don't have those social media numbers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys, listen to me. Find a reel that I could be a part of. Let's do that reel and let's pump it out there. Like, let's help you capitalize on that. Because me helping them capitalize isn't going to change the fact that mine's blowing up. It's only going to help the rest of my team and the other people elevate to that level where we can all get better. And if my teammates have less stress, they're going to be able to train harder. And if my teammates train harder, they're going to get better. And then they're going to beat me. And then I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board and I'm going to have to keep pushing because that's what it takes for me, especially if I want to go until I'm 52 years old.
Anybody that has been watching this interview, Nick, maybe they have to be feeling how positive your energy is and your motor's going and running all the time. Where does that come from? Take us back to like young Nick Baumgartner. Like, where did this motor come from for you?
Well, I was cursed and blessed with ADHD. I'm super hyper. I'm all over the place, kind of like herding cats sometimes. But I have that energy and I love it. And growing up where I did with my three brothers and my sister, it was all about having fun. Work hard and have fun and enjoy yourself. And being able to do that, I think just transfers on. And now it's funny, like you read my social media posts and there's, oh, I didn't know Will Ferrell made the Olympics. And then it goes, this guy is the Ted Lasso of snowboard cross or of the Olympics.
Yeah.
And man, I love it. I'm just having a fun. And I've been blessed to have this platform where I can use it to inspire and motivate other people. I mean, that's the best part of what I do on sport is when I leave the field, I get this opportunity to speak at schools. Like last time when I brought my medal home, went to 53 schools in 3.5 months. And I was able to use my story. And it doesn't matter that I'm old because I snowboard, which is still cool
Yep.
to the youth. So I have this unique angle to help push these kids to do well. But then again, I'm 44. So I have this unique ability to go to a corporate setting, to talk to people, peers, people my age, and tell them like, hey, you guys, it's never too late. I mean, and you saw that when I got off the snowmobile after making it, advancing to the semifinals. I'm like jacked up and I'm like, come on, if you guys think it's too late to chase your dreams, I'm 44 and I'm high-fiving everyone. And it's just cool because the best part that can come out of this stuff is when people come up to me down the road and they say, hey, you know what? Followed you at the Olympics or you spoke at my school and I took something from that. And then they tell me the cool stuff that they're doing. Those are the stories that I can't wait to hear. And I've been fortunate to be able to hear them because I've been doing this for 22
Yeah.
years. So it's the best part of what I get to do.
What's been the most fun thing at this Olympics for you?
I mean, it's wild to think. I mean, going viral and becoming this big influencer at 44 what wasn't on the bingo card. I had no idea that was coming. And for that to be able to come, it just goes to show that it doesn't matter as long as you just keep your head down and you keep setting goals. And then as soon as you knock that one out, you set another goal. Anything can happen. Look what happened. It's one of my favorite quotes is the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next. So as soon as you get there, have a next goal ready to go. And I'm just out there, I'm making reels. I'm having fun. And when you're doing the reels, everyone's like, does that get like stressful and not fun? For me, it was a way to do it and not think about the stress. Because I mean, there's still a little bit of stress and pressure, even
Yeah.
though I say it's all gone when you come to the Olympics. And how do you do that? You find a way to not focus on that. And by making reels and having fun and making people laugh, I was able to just keep lighthearted and have a good time.
U.S. snowboarder Nick Baumgartner, I think he embodies the phrase old guys rule. Nick, thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys having me and help share my story with the world.
The Olympics are about more than medals. They're about the stories, the sacrifices, and those rare moments that bring everyone together. NPR's covering the wins, the heartbreaks, and everything in between, from first-time athletes to history makers. If you're enjoying the ride, support the coverage by hitting the blue donate button. Thanks for being part of the team.